So you know you have made cleaner water, you have disinfected the water, you have an ecotoxicological effect, that's positive. But then it's about impact. What is the true cost of technology? If this means we have to build 10,000 extra coal plants to provide enough energy, you can do whatever you want cleaning the water, but you're producing more toxins somewhere else. So in general, you also want to know which technology is the most efficient and which technology has the lowest environmental impact. So all these things plus up into a net positive effect. For our technology, we looked with Witteveen & Bos, which is a Dutch engineering firm, and we compared our technology with activated carbon, which is PACAS and GKR, Ozonation, which is a very well-known oxidation technology, and our technology, which is Advanox. Here you see Advanox alone, and it's a really high impact. The reason is the transmittance of the sewage water treatment plant is really low. So you need to pump in a lot of UV light to reach the effect you want. This one is a bar where we put sand filtration in front of the advanced oxidation system, and that increases the transmittance, it removes some extra compounds, and that reduces the impact a lot. And these two cases are comparable. This is the global warming potential, so it's a kilogram CO2 equivalent. This is an environmental cost impact that tries to put an actual number in euros on it. And already in the case with sand filtration in front of it, so the interaction with other water treatment technologies, our technology is already comparable to ozonation and a bit lower than activated carbon. And the nice thing about using electricity is you can change electricity quite easily. For instance, in the cases of activated carbon, the carbon footprint of activated carbon is in the carbon. It's very difficult to reduce that if you're using carbon. So if we use green energy, which we aim for anyways in Europe, the picture changes a lot because the environmental impact of the energy we use disappears almost completely. And that's what I mean, that energy consumption is not per se a bad thing because you can choose what energy you use. You can't choose what carbon you use. Carbon is carbon. And then you really see a picture where our technology has a really low impact compared to other technologies. For these other ones, also green energy is used, so for all. And some variations in reduction, transmittance, and treatment goal. And that brings us to the end, because only if you know all these factors, you can really say if a technology is sustainable or applicable or not. And then, of course, comes the cost of cost. In Europe, in the world, we're entering an area of global water bankruptcy. People say it's the new oil, and I don't like oil, but it's clear water is important for us. And it's getting scarcer, we need it for our food, we need it for ourselves. Temperatures are increasing. In the Netherlands we see less and less sources of groundwater are usable to produce drinking water. So it's really important to have technologies that can safeguard our water quality and availability. Just to get an idea, how much does this cost? TCO is a number that's used quite a lot, total cost of ownership, and it calculates how many eurocents per cube of water treated a technology uses over their entire lifetime. So you buy the system, you make the system, you replace the parts, you use chemicals and everything else, and in the end it adds up to a number, and you divide it by the number of cubes of water you treated, and then you have a cost. For drinking water, because transmittance is high, this is quite low. For groundwater, it gets a bit higher because there's generally more to do with groundwater. And if you're looking at wastewater, this TCO cost is around 10 to 15 cents per cubic water of treated. You also see your electricity consumption increase. And this is technically a transmittance effect. And this is a predicted cost, together with an engineering firm, for 80% removal of these pesticides, hormonal residues, medicines, and everything else. Important to consider, disinfection is generally a factor lower because your UV dose is a factor lower. But just to get an idea what technology costs. If you're looking at the current wastewater treatment plant in the Netherlands, it will use around 100, 200 watts per cube of treated water. Drinking water is quite a lot higher. On one hand, you don't want to spend more energy. On the other hand, it's logical, you can't make something better without spending more energy. And that's why also the energy and the water and the climate discussion are so closely linked, because they all influence each other. And you do it right, or hopefully, and then you end up with a range of UV systems. These are ours, and yeah, we're quite proud of it, of course. We work hard for it, and from different manufacturers you will get different flavors, and that's how we got here. Questions? Thank you.